Welcome back to the new Yachtsman channel. Today I've got a great guest, Bob Allen, and he's from marine finance industry, and he's got a lot of experience, and I want him to help you understand whether you should finance your yacht and what that would look like. Bob, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey, it's Bob Allen with Trident Funding based out of Fort Lauderdale. I've been in the money lending boat business for over 25 years and have been involved in boating through family and my entire life.
This channel's primarily focused on really the new yachtsman, looking at that yacht that's 50 to 80 feet, say $1 to $4 million in value. Could you maybe just talk about why someone would choose to finance versus pay cash, and what the costs look like in that size range?
Well, Bill, rates are at an all-time low for all financing. I hear constantly from boat buyers that they want to finance because they can make more money with their investments, and the rates are low and the terms are good. And this is something that really is appealing to everybody right now in this day and age.
What do the what's the loan term, and what are the typical rates like, and what is there a balloon, or how does that all work?
Most loans for yachts are a 20-year term. That's your maximum term. Rates are very competitive with mortgage companies right now. And you normally will look at deposits on loans under, or down payments on loans under 2.5 million is 20%, and over that is normally 25%. So the down payments are very competitive. Turnaround time is very quick. People are surprised at how fast we can get them approved. And business is very good.
I know you and I have been through a couple where the owner really didn't have a lot of income. Could you talk a little bit about what the bank wants to see when it comes to not really assets? I assume anyone buying a yacht in this class has plenty of assets, but what does the bank need to see from an income perspective to repay the loan?
Well, the banks are looking at obviously your credit report and your score. They want to see income coming in, and as you get more involved in business and the things like that, most borrowers who have their own businesses don't show a lot of income and are very creative in shelters. We will look at depreciation and all sorts of various things where the money goes one way and not are necessarily a tax return. The banks realize this happens, especially on larger deals, and individuals get creative with their income to shelter what their true earnings are.
The yacht itself, what does the underwriter want to see as far as the age of the yacht and how the yacht is owned? Does it matter how old it is, I guess, is the question. And should that be an individual loan, or can it be in an LLC or a trust, or do they care?
Most loans on larger yachts are in LLCs right now. It's an easy process to set up an LLC. The owner of the boat guarantees the payment of the LLC, which is fine with the lender. And it's 80% of our boat loans are in LLCs now.
Okay. And then it's the credit rating of the individual that's behind that LLC that they're looking at.
Exactly, yes,
Because that's probably a brand new entity just created for the boat, so it has no history itself.
right, yes, yep.
Got it. What about the customer that wants to live on the boat full time? I know we ran into one not long ago where the bank really wanted to see a permanent address. Can you address that?
The Congress changed lending laws, years ago, and we are not authorized or allowed to do liveaboards. You would have to go to, if you can find one, a mortgage lender that is licensed to do mortgages that could finance a liveaboard. Most people, when they hear that, get creative and find a way to show that they are not going to live on a permanent basis on the boat, and we get around it.
So if you have an address up north and you want to be on your yacht in Florida for 6 months of the year, that's not really a liveaboard.
That's not a liveaboard, no.
Home.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Okay, that's great. What about how they take title? I assume almost all the loans you're doing are Coast Guard registered vessels. Are there any other stipulations on how the boat is insured and where it's kept?
You need to obviously have insurance for the lender because it's a requirement. Most boats are covered wherever they go through insurance. And insurance is very competitive right now, which you'll find out later on from, I guess, Jerry.
Yep. Is the loan, are there any restrictions on where the vessel can go with the loan? For example, if I wanted to cruise to Mexico or cruise to South America, does the lender care where the boat travels?
That's a good question. And it varies according to lenders, and we have multiple lenders. They don't want the boat to go to Cuba, I can tell you that, but some do get around it. Most of those boats do not have a lien on them. Boats go all over the world. We close arm boats all over the world, especially if they're headed back to the US. New Marlows we close arm at the plant, which is very, it's not unusual in this day and age.
Yeah, the closing of a foreign built vessel. I know that was a little difficult in the beginning, but you figured it out. As long as the boat's coming here, I guess, and they have clear title to it, they're happy to do it. Is there a process of pre-qualifying for a yacht before the customer starts shopping? Do you often pre-qualify like you would with a home?
We do a lot of pre-qualifying because people don't want, especially on used boats, the sellers don't want someone to have to wait to get their financing in order. So we do a lot of pre-qualifying. We basically pick a boat that people are interested in and run it through the banks and get them approved for that. The banks are very familiar with us changing, collateral and the purchase numbers. So it's a very common process we do.
What kind of credit score does the bank typically require to do a yacht loan?
Credit number, I would say your minimum would be 730.
Hi, Bob. I've gotten a number of questions from clients asking if they can charter part-time to help offset some of the cost of the yacht, or maybe they just have acquaintances they want to charter the yacht to because they've already got a great yacht and a captain. What do the finance companies think about chartering?
On these larger yachts, Bill, most allow limited chartering, and that is basically they do a 20% of the use of the boat for chartering is what their normal ratios they want to see.
That's 20% of a calendar year?
20% of usage.
Okay. All right. So those are days on board, basically.
Yes. Yep.
And is that typically limited to a geographic territory, or that's really all up to the insurance company?
No, not really. No.
What about finance rates based on the age of the vessel? Do you see any difference between a brand new $4 million yacht and a 20-year-old $1.5 million yacht as far as rates are concerned, like you would in a car?
Rates and terms are very similar for boats not more than 15 years old. Older than 15 years, you may see lenders cut the term from 20 years to 15, and they may raise the rate, a half a point.
Do they typically want a higher deductible as well? Higher down payment,
No,
I'm sorry.
no, they might want more money down, but not a higher deductible.
Bob, when the customer decides to make an offer on a boat and we do a survey, what is the insurance company looking for on the survey?
Oh, the insurance company and the lenders are all looking for a survey that's going to show a value of comparable to what the purchase price is going to be. They want to see that the boat is obviously seaworthy, and the most important thing is the value they look at, because they want to make sure the asset that they're financing is worth it.
Great. Great. And I assume usually those values are in line. I know the market's pretty good right now, but I would expect that
And
the
the other
comps are
thing
generally okay.
on used boats, lenders all want to see a survey, and also so do insurance agents. The other thing that is required in all boat lending is Coast Guard documentation, so that the lender can put a ship's preferred mortgage on the boat for their loan note.
Yeah, and for those of you new yachtsmen, not sure what that is, just like you would put a lien on a home, the Coast Guard has a mechanism to put a lien on a yacht, and you can't really sell that yacht to someone else until you clear that lien. So
That's correct. That's why the lenders want to do it. See, it's the only way to really put a mortgage on a maritime boat.
great. What about geography with rates? Are the rates pretty much the same nationwide, or do you see territories are a little different?
No, it's nationwide. We have offices all over the country, and our rates are all the same.
All the same.
And most lenders will finance boats in all states except Alaska and Hawaii.
Gotcha. And you find the rates generally track month to month with the prime interest rate pretty consistently. The boat loan mortgage rates are kind of similar
Yes. Yep.
throughout the years.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Bob. I'm sure that was very helpful to all the new yachtsmen out there. And all of you, please like and subscribe and give us some comments down below. If you have any questions, Bob and I'll get right back to you. And I look forward to doing the next episode. Thanks again, Bob.